So, can anyone hear me? Is anyone struggling?
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So, last time. So the last time we met together, we worked on a calculator. I hope you all had fun. You learned something, and that's you're ready. You're ready to make something a little more fun this time, where it doesn't take too much brain power, too much maths, and all the likes. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can show you what we're going to work towards for next time. Okay. All right. So we're going to build something called a website. Uh-huh. That's the whole intent of this course in a nutshell. We're going to make something called a website. Okay. Now you may ask me, what's a website and why do we need to learn how to do a website? And it's simple. The whole world runs on web. It's one of those skills that if you know how to make a website, um, yeah, you're guaranteed to have an opportunity to make money wherever you go. Okay. So what is a website? Basically just a bunch of pages that you can put together, whip up some colors and images, okay, and just present to the world and be like, hey, look, this is me. This is what I can do. Okay. Trying to find some websites that you might know. Uh, I have no clue because I'm trying to seriously think if I can find something that we might know. Let me have a look. Let me just have a look. Uh, okay. For example, everyone knows Wikipedia, right? Yeah. So everyone knows Wikipedia. Everyone has used Wikipedia, I'm hoping.
Pay?
So this, okay.
Did you say pay here?
Yeah, have you used Wikipedia? I'm hoping.
Pay.
At least you have,
We will
maybe.
pay here. Real money or no?
No. I was saying rhetorically, I hope you guys have used Wikipedia, not Ben 10, sorry.
Huh?
Like as in, have you
We can
guys
what?
used Wikipedia?
Oh, do you mean
This
with
Wikipedia.
Tia? Oh.
Wikipedia.
No.
Okay. It's all
Only my brother in grade 11.
right.
Then
Okay.
my big brother.
Okay, yeah. So the intent is I want to show you that you can make really cool stuff, right? Where if you click certain things, it goes to a different page. If you do different things, it does different things. Maybe this is not the best example, but yeah, let's see if we can look for SpongeBob. Maybe. Let me just look for SpongeBob. Okay. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, but all right, it'll make sense. It'll make sense when we get to it. But I just wanted you guys to know the next project is a website. So we will have pictures, we will have links, we'll have animations, and just pretty things overall. Okay. That's our next objective. All right. So Um, I hope you guys are ready. So today, I'm just gonna go from scratch, and then after the lesson, I'll post the code onto um what do you call it, Slack, the Slack channel. All right. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? So I'll just create a new folder here, and I'll
We
call
have
this.
to create a new folder or
If you want to tag along, you can. But I know that once I finish this lesson, I'll post a code online. So this
I
code is
can I just put the folder and then done
Can you just put the folder where?
in the in my laptop.
Yeah, you can download it after the lesson's finished if you want. You can definitely download this folder here when I push
And
it
now
online.
my brother is making no sense. He's saying don't be his friend.
I don't know. I don't know, Salim. Now I'm more confused. All right. Uh so let me open that folder. I'm gonna open that folder in Visual Studio Code. Let's just bear with me. I'm just opening it. Um, there we go. All right. So that's my Visual Studio Code. You guys already know this one. I'm just going to go open folder. Okay. Now I'm just going to go desktop and websites. Okay. All right. So pretty standard stuff. I don't think no one has an issue with this one. Okay. And I'm just going to do the basic index.html. Okay. And I'll just go shift number one and then press the tab key. And we'll change the title to websites. Okay. That's it. And then sorry. And then here, we'll just do an H1 tag and we'll say website. Okay. Save. Then I'll just go live. And obviously, open a tab this way. And I'm going to resize it. There you go. So you guys can see what's happening. Right. So we're not going to be doing the basic stuff we were doing from the first 6 weeks we were doing. Now we're doing far more advanced stuff. Okay. And how are we going to do this? All right, let's create a header first. Okay, so with every website, there's something called a header. Now, what's a header? Okay, it's spelled HEADER, a header. So a header basically carries all the information that you'd generally click. Okay. You'd click about and do all the fancy stuff. I don't know if I can show you a very practical example of a website. Let me just show you something. Yeah, let me try this one. Okay, cool. All right. So take for example, there's a website here that we use in Australia where you can buy cars, you can rent cars, and you can sell cars. Okay. So this is what it is. You can go to it. Okay. And you've got this white section at the top there that says car sales and then cars for sale, new car showroom, sell my car, research, news and reviews, value my car. Okay. Then obviously you've got the sign up and the login, and then you got the instant offer. So this white section here, this white strip, um, is essentially the header, okay, of the website. I'll see if I can just point to it. Yeah. So see this entire thing here, that thing there is the header. Okay, that's the navigation. So that's where most of the stuff that's, pertaining to links will reside. It's the same thing if you've ever gone on YouTube. It would say sign in. If you go on Facebook, it would say log in, Twitter, etc., etc. And then obviously you've got all these images, and then you've got the content, and then you've got this. So this is essentially what we're aiming to create. Maybe we can do something like a pizza shop. Maybe we might do something related to, I don't know, music. It depends on what we want to do. But the idea is I want to teach you guys how you, on your own, can go away and create websites. Okay. So, as I mentioned, the website usually has something called a header. All right. And then if you have a header at the top, and then equally, you're going to have something called a footer at the bottom. Okay. So FOOTER, footer, like that. See, it even tells you there. Okay, footer, class primary footer. So think of it in human terms. Okay, you yourself, you have a head, you've got feet. I hope. I hope. Maybe if you don't have those two, we might have to ask questions. But normally you have a head and you've got 2 feet. It's the same thing with a website. You have a header and you have a footer. Then in between those two, you then have your page content, which you display. All right. Okay. Enough of me, you know, talking endlessly and sounding boring. Okay. Let us, start making a website. Okay. So, let's do this. Let's start with something very simple, something that just describes you as a person. Okay. So, we want to have a header here. So, I'll define a header first. All right. So, I'll just type HEADER. So this is how we create a header. All right. And then press the tab key. Okay. So this is how I just create a header. Okay. And obviously I'm gonna save the file. And then I'm gonna have let's say 2 links maybe. Let's make it three. Let's make it three. Let's make it three. And what do I mean by that? Okay. So, in order for us to be able to go between pages, because I'm going to teach you another trick where we're not just going to be having one index.html file, but we're going to have multiple HTML files and we need to get access to them. Okay. So let me just show you, for example. So we've got index.html here, but what if we have projects.html? Okay. What if we have another page called about me.html? Now, how do you think we can access these pages? Okay. You obviously, let's say you're a user on the internet. How are you going to be like clicking? So, for example, let you imagine these are the pages that you have to access. If I click tabs and it goes to a different page, how do you access all that? You see, this is the stuff that I want to teach you guys. Okay. So imagine you see this black bar here that says HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python. These are all different pages. Okay. So if I click here, obviously, it'll take me to a page that talks about JavaScript. If I click a page for PHP, it's the same thing. It will take me to a page that talks about PHP. Same thing with CSS. All right. So, how do we do that? Um, we use something called anchor tags. Okay, anchor is an ANCHOR, anchor. All right, is that's the name, but this is not the tag. The tag we use is called an A tag, but it stands for anchor. Okay, so it's just A, and then you press tab. All right, so you just write the letter A, okay, and then press the tab key, and then you should get something called href. Okay, href. So this is literally just a hyperlink reference. Okay, so we'll make one called home. All right, one for home. And let's make another one for projects. Okay. Sorry, not there. It should be between the A tags, okay? So projects, okay? And let's make another one called about me, for example. Okay. Now, if I save this, you're going to see these funny looking things at the top here for the first time because this is what um, we're starting to learn how to do. Okay, so we've been doing things where we've been on one page the entire time. We haven't shifted. We haven't done anything, and that's fine. That's okay. But we need to get more advanced now. Okay, so what are these? What are these funny looking uh, what do you call it? Elements, if you ask me. Well, what's all this? So, by rule, by definition, when creating a website, if you have these anchor tags, you have what's called a link. Okay. So, for example, if I wanted to look at everything for Python, I'll just click this Python link here, and it will take me to a page that will describe anything and everything to do with Python. Okay. All right. So currently we are at index.html. That's our entry page. So the reason I've always had you guys write index.html is because every time you load your website, this is the page that you look at, the very first page that you look at. It's almost like whenever you go to your house, um, depending on where you guys park or how you get into the house, the first door that you look at is always the door leading into the living room. Okay. Or maybe that's very a gross oversimplification. Think of it like, how do you enter into your courtyard, okay, or into the yard that surrounds your house? You have to go through the gate. Okay, so think of index.html as the gate into the yard that leads to your house. Okay, I don't know, just use something simple. Just think of index.html as the first page that is loaded, because a HTML file is a page. All right, and how can I prove this? Right, so if we go to projects, okay, we go exclamation mark and press tab key. All right, let's change this one to project, shall we? Like that. And for good measure, let's just give it a heading called projects. Okay. And then let's save it. I'm just going to copy and paste for about me, and I'll change a few things. So I'll just change the title to about me, like that. Okay. And let's change this to about me, like that again. Right. And then I'll prove to you guys, if we come here, let's say for the project one, we say if we click it, we want it to go to projects.html. Okay. If we click the about me link, it goes to the about me.html file. Okay. Now let's see what happens, shall we? Okay, so if website is on the index.html file, if I click projects, it takes us to the projects page. As you can see, it now says 127.0.0.1 or 5500 / projects.html. You know, so we've essentially told our local web server that we're looking at a page called projects.html. And all we had to do was click the link that was in the index.html page. All we had to do was click one of these links, okay? And what happens if we click about me? About me, it's the same thing. It will take us to the about me page, okay? So the same thing. Like here, if we click Java, same thing, you see? It redirected to Java default.asp. And now it's displaying content related to Java. So it's the same thing that we're doing over here. Okay. We're changing between pages. All right. And then we can obviously copy this. Okay. We can copy this over into projects. Okay. Save that. And then we can obviously copy this into about me as well. And we'll, it should take us to the homepage. Sorry. So I'll fix that. So for home, either I can put index.html or I can just do a / like that. Okay. And then I'll explain to you why. Why did we do that? Because normally when you go to a website, you don't usually go www.southafrica.co.za and then / index.html. No, it already knows that the index.html is the entry file. So it will just redirect to the name of the website. Okay. Hey, Leon, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Okay. I'll give you a practical example. Very, very practical. Which one can I use? Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon. All right. I'm gonna try and keep it very PG. Okay. Yeah, Nick. All right. So you see here, right, where it says nick.com.au, right? Okay. That nick.com.au, that's the name of the website. So we don't need to tell the website nick.com.au then / index.html. We don't need that. Okay. Why? Because it already knows that's the file. That's why you have this / ahead of it. Okay. So if you copy this and paste it somewhere, okay, you're gonna have this / I know you can't see it properly, but try this when you want. If you copy a link, a website link, and paste it again, oh, maybe I'll do it from here. Maybe I can show from here. If I paste it here, you see how it's got the little / at the homepage. You just put that / and that's it. That's all you have to do. All right. That is all you have to do. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. But if you guys have any questions during this entire tutorial, please. Right. So we've got these things called links. Okay. So now we've linked our pages together. Okay. It's very fun. It's very easy. What's the next step? Um, so we've created our header. Perfect. But we also want to have our middle section where we type stuff. We can, come in here and be like, I don't know, we'll go websites. We'll say hello. Uh, and then here you'd say, welcome to my website. Okay. And then, you can type random stuff beneath that. For now, I'll just use dummy text and put Lauren Mips. Okay. Like that. And you'd have things here. You've got images and you've got, different things happening. Okay. And all that stuff. Right. That's all cool and dandy. Okay. But the thing is, we need to make this look more lively, much more pretty, much more colorful. So we've got a header here. The next thing we want to do is let's create a div tag. Okay. And we'll call this page content. All right. And usually any element you have usually should reside in here. So the H1 element, the heading.
Oh, keep quiet.
Huh? What happened? Okay. So the H1 element usually resides in here. Okay. Same thing with the paragraph. Okay. So if you want to be um more technical, you can use different tags to group your code. Okay. As in you can either use the div tag, that's the most common one. You can also use something called a section. Okay. So a section more or less behaves like a div tag, okay? But it just gives you more a different option. Okay. So like let's say you want to look at a different section of the page. Like are you looking at the top section or are you looking at the middle section or are you looking at the bottom section? Okay. You can also do something called article. Okay. To those who know what a newspaper is, you can do an article as well. So the choice is up to you. I would encourage you if you really want to get serious about this and you want to start making websites for a living, then you start investing in those other two, section and article. Okay. That way, you're more up to speed with industry standards. Okay. So let's get rid of the div tag, shall we? So let's say we have a section on the page where we want to have an article, right? And then inside this article, we'll have our paragraphs. Okay. Quick and easy, right? Very, very simple. Just like that. So we divide it into a section. So this we know will be a section that contains this text. Okay. And etc. 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 Right. And then before we get carried away, obviously we want to define the footer. All right, the footer. So how do we do that? So just as we define the header here, header, we want to define the footer like that. Okay, foot with er at the end, and you press the tab key. Very simple, right? Okay. Inside this one, yeah, we don't have to get carried away really. We just give it a div tag to contain the content, and then inside here we do a span tag. I don't know if I taught you guys about a span tag yet, but hoping with time I'll show you different elements that you can put together to make really cool stuff. So a span tag is basically think of it as a younger brother of the paragraph, okay? And I'll try and explain this in very simple terms. Okay. So I'll put texty, I'll put Salam here for learning purposes, and I'll show you why. So imagine your paragraph text, right? So you see the paragraph text here, which I've highlighted, okay? The paragraph text is always going to be the width of the screen. So currently my Google Chrome is the size of half of my screen because I've halved it. Okay, so we can see the code side by side. If I went full screen like this, okay, you see how the paragraph text remains just as wide as it was. Okay, it's filling up the entire screen from left to right. Okay, that's the paragraph tag. But what about the span tag? Okay, now the span tag, what it does is it doesn't do that. It only occupies the space equivalent to the text on the screen. Okay, so for example, you see how he just says Salim. So the span tag is always going to be as wide as the text that says Salim. Okay, same thing. If we just add
Daddy,
Salim Sipo, yes,
um,
Salim,
Daddy,
what happened? Yeah. So if we add the text here, right, that says
nothing.
Salim Sipo, it's just
I
going to
just
be as
opened.
wide.
I just opened my mic by mistake.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. So yeah, if we change this one to, let's say, Audrey, like this, it's always going to be as big or as wide as the name Audrey is. Okay. So if I just do a border here, I'll give you a perspective of this. So solid. You see? So that's a span tag. Okay. And then this is the paragraph tag. All right. All right. Do you get the difference of which one's which? Okay. So paragraph, you use a paragraph if you know that you're going to have so much text on your screen. You use a span tag if you know you're going to have short text like the year of the website. Like you know how you go copyright 2023 my website, or if you know you're going to put your name, or if you want to be fancy, it's up to you. These things, they're up to how you want to use it. But the reason I use the span tag is because in the footer we want to define the copyright year. Okay. And how do we do that? So there are things in HTML called entities. Man, I feel like today's episode I've spoken different things. We went from pages, we went from anchor tags, which are links, and then we went to sections and articles, and now I'm talking about entities. Now, what's an entity? Okay, so HTML itself is a text-based language. Okay, that means it deals with numbers and letters by nature. Okay, so A to Z, obviously, right? But on top of that, it doesn't know how to interpret specific characters or special characters by default. When I say special characters, what do I mean? So anything from, that you see on your keyboard that looks like this, okay? Where you've got backtick, I think, yeah, that's a squiggly line, sorry. Exclamation mark at hash or pound sign, excuse me, depending where you come from, percentage. Then you've got the caret, the little pointy arrow there. Then you've got the ampersand, which is the and, asterisk. Then you've got the brackets, underscore, plus, forward slash. So by its nature, right, HTML has a very, very tough time. Oh, sorry, Salam. I'll answer your question in a minute. So HTML, it's in the name, hypertext markup language. By nature, it has issues trying to render these special characters. So there's something called an entity where you can more or less convert these special characters so that they can come up as a cool rendering on the screen. Now, before I go further, Salim's asked, what is lorem ipsum? Lorem ipsum is basically just a large bunch of text that was used back in the days to test typewriters. So, for your own benefit, I would say just go and Google what is lorem ipsum. Okay. If you want to learn, just go and learn this. Okay. What is lorem ipsum? So, it's widely used to demonstrate the visual form of a document. Okay. So, I think I don't know if it's Latin or Greek, but it should be Latin if anything, the name Lipsum, Lorem Ipsum. But yeah, go and research, go and find out, learn, okay, and find out. So it's usually used to display like how the text will appear on a document, for example. So it'd have different characters from A to Z, right? So if you look at here, like if you count the letters in here, right, we have different letters from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H high J A. Like it goes way more than this. This is just a snippet, but you can go much more than this. So to answer your question, Salim, it's just a large bunch of text we use as a placeholder to see how our text would look on our page. Okay. No, I can see you're drawing all over the screen, but you get the point. Right. So I was talking about entities. Now, how do you spell entity? It's very simple. Uh, do you want me to write comments? Okay, sure. I'll write comments in the HTML file for you guys. Okay. Just like I did for JavaScript. All right. So
But because I like drawing the screen.
no, it's okay. If that's what makes you happy, go for it. Okay. All right. So I was gonna say for those who might be interested in looking at entities, just go HTML entities, and I'll provide these links in Slack so you guys can take a look for yourself. Okay. So like, remember when I was saying that by nature HTML is just an alphanumeric renderer. It only draws numbers and letters. Okay, but sometimes we want to do really cool stuff where we show very cool things like these copyrights reserved, the chevrons, like the arrows pointing front and back. Okay, we then use special characters to convert those, okay, into that. Okay. So if you look at this is not alphanumeric. This is using special characters like I was showing you on the screen just then. Okay. So for the copyright one, obviously the C. I'm sure you guys have seen this a lot of times. That copyright, and then you just do and copy this. So let's just copy that. Okay. And in place of that, we'll just paste it. Okay. And look, now we've got the C, the fancy little C there, right? And then we just do copyright. What's the year? 2023. Okay. 2023. And we'll just say websites. Okay. So we've got a footer there. There we go. We've pretty much done 20% of the work. We haven't done any colors or any animations, which we'll get to because that's where we're headed. I want to teach you guys as much as I can so you can go ahead, go out there. If you want to make money while you're still in school, you can take on projects. Hey, I can make a website for you. And you just bang, 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 do it like that. Okay. Right. So, what do we have? Recap, because I know our time's running short. And I'll write comments for you, Audrey, and everyone else. So we essentially broke down what a web page is constructed of or consists of. Sorry, I should be more careful with how I say things. So I wanted to teach you guys how to structure a basic web page, okay, from the get go. So if you look at it, we've got our header file, and I'll explain to you that the header is normally where you put your navigation links, okay? Where you'd put links like home, projects about me, and like I showed you in that website, car sales. I'll put all these links on the Slack channel afterwards so you can look. So that if you want to go to a specific page, you click on a link and then it takes you to that page. Okay. And then we created the middle section of where we put our content. And today I'm just doing text, but tomorrow I've already shown the likes of Queen and Cooper how you can actually put images on your web page and it looks cool. Okay, so maybe tomorrow we're going to look at doing that where we can put images on the page. And then we obviously wanted to put the footer here, which usually resides at the bottom of the page. Quick example, I'll just show you Mr. Phillips' website. That's probably the closest example I can think of. Okay. All right. So if you look at Mr. Phillips' website, you've got the header here at the top. Okay. We just got the logo and everything, and it's got these links. All right. And then you obviously have the content in the middle here. I know that's not Salim, sorry. That someone probably looks like Salim. And then you've got all this content, like these are images. See, there's POC there, POD, these are images, for example. Like even these. See, these are images over here and stuff like that. Okay. That's an image. And then at the very end of it, you've got this section, this entire bottom section here. That's the footer, okay? Where you've got all these other links that you can access. Okay. So yeah, um, basically header there at the top. Then you've got the middle, which is the content, and then at the bottom you've got the footer. Okay, where you can put your links and everything else. But for now, we just did copyright 2023. Okay. What did we do? We went copyright 2023 and then we went website. But this looks basic now because we haven't even started to apply the CSS. Okay. So that's the next step that we're going to do. All right. Maybe starting tomorrow. But yeah, I think I've just been overloading you with information. I'm pretty sure if I wanted to ask you guys where did we start and where did we end up, most of you are going to get confused. So I'll probably open the floor and say if you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask. Okay. So let's go. Fire away, shall we? Mm-hmm. Does anyone have a question? No? Surely,
No.
surely, nah. If you don't say you don't have a question, then I'll ask the questions and see if anyone understood what I just tried to say.
But can I please ask something?
Yes, Audrey, go ahead.
So on the copyright thingy, right? Okay. For example,
Yeah,
and it's 2023.
yeah.
When we're in 2024, right? Do you go and change the year or what happens?
Thank you. Love that question. Thank you, Audrey. Um, if let's
What
say
did
if you,
she say?
all right, I'll say it for everyone else. So Miss Audrey just said, if we go to or if we get to the year 2024, right? For copyright, see where it says copyright 2023, right? Uh, she then asked, do we then go back and change it to 2024? So it's updated, obviously. The answer is yes, if yes and no. I would say yes if if you want to change your date, but let's say you started your company today, a hairdressing company, right? So you opened your hairdressing company in 2023. So you established it in 2023, but your website's has been running for the past, I don't know, 8 years. So what's 2023 plus 8? That should give us 2031, yeah? I hope my math is correct. So it would normally look like that, like 2023 to 2031, like that. But then to also answer your question, rather than us to manually change the year, we can use JavaScript, okay? Because JavaScript, I'll just quickly write a script here. It has a function that you can call to get the dates and the year. So we just go, I'll just quickly go console. Let me just
After
go.
you answer all these questions,
Can you what?
after you answer all these questions, you
Yeah.
tell us questions.
I was saying if there's no question, then I'll ask a question. But Audrey has asked a question, so maybe I won't. Maybe I will. I don't know.
Why?
So yeah, so you see with JavaScript, you've got this where you go new date. There's actually a date class. Okay, then you call the get full year. And if I console.log this, we'll get a date. So you see, Audrey, you don't even have to type the year yourself. You can literally let JavaScript do it for you. So you can literally do the math and say if the current year is greater than the current year. So if let's say 2024 is greater than 2023, then you can set the text to say copyright 2023 2024. Or if you don't want that, it will just say 2024, 2025, 2026, each and every year. You see? So I like that question. It is a good one. Thanks for that. So yeah. Um hopefully that did answer, sorry, did I answer your question, Audrey, or not really?
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. All right. So Salim, you wanted me to ask you a question. Okay. Uh, okay. So can you describe in your understanding what is a header, basically, in a web
Header?
page? Header, yes.
I am thinking.
No, no, it's okay. You don't have to say technically. Just say it how you understand it. You can even use ice cream if you want. No?
What do you need ice cream for?
No, no. I was saying, okay. You weren't able to answer it, so I'll help you. So the header tag, okay, is essentially the element that always
Is
sits at the top.
a header a Python? Wow.
No, no, no. It's not a person, no.
No, I said Python.
No, Python is an animal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a snake.
No, a header is a small kind of thing. Like a link or something. I don't know.
It's
The
all
one
right.
that you have written. The one that you have written in the Google.
Okay, so if you want to explain it to like your friends, basically a header is the part that sits at the top. Okay, so think of this. Header is the part, or no. Header is the element that sits at the top of your web page. Okay. Yeah. Header is an element that sits at the top of your web page, and it usually contains navigation
What's
links.
I don't want you to sleep here. I need space. What's it? Go.
What what
Go.
is Google? Ah, yes, thank you, Queen. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for coming. Um, yes.
Why
So,
is she going?
uh, different people have different responsibilities, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I know why she's going. Well, she doesn't have electronic license. Electronic is not working license.
I don't know about
That's
that. But basically,
he said
header,
that before.
yeah, header sits at the top, footer sits at the bottom. So if you want to compare it to yourself, Salon, header is like your head, okay? Footer is like your feet. So think of it that your head is always up, your feet are always down, okay? So it's the same thing with the web page. Header, top, footer at the bottom. And then in between these two is where you have the content which we had, like the H1, the section, the article, the paragraphs. Okay. So it'll make sense. The more you play with it, the more it'll make sense, and you just be like, oh well, this is simple. Okay. So that was the intro to today's lesson where we're starting to do this. Um and when we meet next time, we're gonna be doing some crazy stuff. Like, I want you guys to be prepared for things like linear backgrounds, like things like this, where you can go, uh, like you can combine different colors, you can go light blue if you want, and you can even go orange. You can do all sorts of things, but this is what we're going to do next time. Okay. So today's the end of the lesson, but thank you guys for coming. And I
So,
hope I shall see you guys tomorrow.
so
Okay.
can I also ask something?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
So why did you put the exclamation mark for this thing?
Exclamation mark.
Hmm.
Well, what
But that's
about?
it's a comment of
Oh, yes. Yeah, the green part. So this green part here is the comments. Yes, thank you for noticing. So you know how you asked me to write comments? Um, this is how you write a comment in HTML, essentially. And the way to do it, the easiest way you can do it from yourself is on your keyboard, you press the control and / key. So there's a key next to your shift key, which has a question mark and a /. If you press and hold control and that, you get the exclamation and the double dash
so you
comment.
said the control and what?
/ key.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's all.
That's all you do. Yeah, control / and it'll do it for you like that. Yeah. So no, thank you. I've put comments here so that when you go and look at the code, it'll make sense and you'll just recall, and then you'll be like, oh, that's what we were talking about. Okay.
Mm.
So yeah. I've pretty much finished the lesson, guys. And I'm just gonna post this code on the Slack, but FYI for your information, this is the same code we're going to be using all the way until we finish building our website. Okay. I'm not going to be changing folders every day. So if you want to copy the exact folder, by all means, do so. Yeah, because we're going to be working off of this code going forward. Okay. All right. thanks you guys. I'm really happy we had this today. So we've come to the end of the lesson, and I'll give it back to Mr. Philip and Miss Carol. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Miss Carol.
Are we done with the lesson or what?
Yes, we're done with the lesson.
So can I
Okay.
ask something again?
Yes.
So, masters on like it's about training. So, when did you start learning how to code or whatever? So, yeah.
When did I start learning how to code? Oh yeah, good question.
He's just sleeping here.
Um,
And I'm
um,
almost done.
After the lesson,
wait,
what you do
guys, wait.
right?
I'm trying to
The,
answer
teacher-
Miss Audrey.
the teacher said, don't.
Um,
She
so
just said, I'll.
Come here.
so what year are we? 2023, right?
Mhm.
I went to university. I went to this university in New Zealand. Sorry. AUT, right? Come on. Why does it always want to know my location? So I went to this university called Auckland University of Technology. This one. And